Hey there, it's Christian from 7 Gaming Network, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny Tactica. This time we're going to have a look at it's a command hero, and it's the lowly little rebel trooper. Now, this is a really cool little character. Actually, as we see pretty much across all of the non-unique characters, we're seeing really strong characters in this Awakening set. So I'm going to go through his die sides. We'll look at his ability, his health, his role, and some decks that we might find the Rebel Trooper in. So first of all, let's have a look at these die sides then. So he has got 3 damage sides. He's got a 1, he's got a 2 ranged, and he's got a +1, so a modded range side. So straight away we can see that this little fella is here and is capable of doing some damage, and he's here to do it. It's really good, it's really strong. It echoes things like the Padawan, although that's slightly more consistent damage on the Padawan. With this +1 modded side, we're looking at a character who is only 8 points, and so we're going to have other dice around that are going to have those ranged results on. We may well have another Rebel Trooper round, as they are only 8 points. There's a good combo of another Rebel Trooper for 8 points, and we're looking at a good likelihood of being able to get another range result to enable that modded side. So with 3 damage sides, for an 8-point character, it's really strong. We can fairly rely upon this character to bring some damage to the table, and not a rubbish amount at a 2 as well. So his other die side then, we've got a shield, and in terms of looking at his role, that actually makes more sense and really makes us think actually it's just really quite good that it's a shield side, because how we're usually going to use the Rebel Trooper when we're playing is he's what we might call a meat shield. He's there to tank some damage. He's really there to absorb some damage and draw that damage away from our other main characters in the team. He's also got his resource side and a blank side, but I want to talk more about his role, because his ability, which is simple, straight up, he's got Guardian. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, that simply means that you can select a damage side in your opponent's dice pool, and when he activates, you can then force that die to be resolved on this Rebel Trooper. It's control. It's really good control. That's fundamentally what the Guardian ability is. It says you don't get to decide where that damage goes, I do. Now, of course, in a perfect world, we'd remove the damage and not have it go anywhere. But it's really powerful to be able to decide where your opponent's damage that they're working hard to generate is then actually going to land. So this Guardian ability plays into his role, because what we see a Rebel Trooper there to do is simply to get in the way of your more important characters. He's there to take damage. Now, of course, we can mitigate that by shielding him up, and that's why the shield result on his die side helps. But we're also in hero command, so we've got quite a few ways of getting some shields onto our characters. So if we can get him shielded up using his Guardian ability, he's going to be sucking up that damage from the battlefield, and he's got 7 health. It's not a huge amount, but his role is to absorb that damage. So the combination of his die side and his ability, with his cheap 8 points, makes a great little package of a character who can not only take damage, and that's really why we want him there, he's also got this great ability to put some damage out. So it's a really fantastic combination. So for an 8-point character, this is looking like he's really good. So let's have a look at some decks that we are seeing Rebel Troopers in. Well, there's really only 2 that I've seen, or that are perhaps popular builds. The one is Actbar and Rebel Troopers. which can be quite a nice combination. You've got the rebel troopers, which, as we know, can put some damage out. We can get them maybe upgraded, and we can be using one to be absorbing the damage and then upgrade the other one, or we can be maybe put in some upgrades onto Actbar and then using the rebel troopers to stop those upgrades leaving the game by keeping Actbar alive. And then what we've then got, of course, is we've got Actbar's 2 focus sides, so we can be focusing the rebel troopers to their 2 damage side, which is very nice. But the big thing, of course, that we can play when we've got Actbar and 2 troopers is the It's a Trap, which is a brilliant uncommon card, an absolutely fantastic ability, and really can result in, if we've got Actbar, let's say, and a pistol on him and 2 rebel troopers, if you get that It's a Trap off, we can be looking at 6, 7, 8 plus damage going off, and all resolving all in one go, and can be pretty terrifying alpha damage, as we say. Now, another build that's also out there is Padme and 2 troopers. This has been piloted by a guy over in North America, and it's a solid list. It's a milling list. Padme, of course, is all about the mill. Now, this is a really good example of a character like Padme, who she's the focus of your strategy. She's there to keep milling your opponent's cards, and what the rebel troopers are there to do is nothing but keep her alive. Like, you almost don't care what they roll. You're probably happier with them rolling the shields, because what you're trying to do is make sure that there are shields on them so that they can keep guardianing away any damage that your opponent's rolling. Now, of course, how you overcome that is you make sure that you're able to roll your damage and resolve it in one go. So cards like your All In, or ability, or if you're using characters like Django, that can be a great way to sort of overcome that guardian ability, which is a bit of a trick, I suppose you'd say, as into how to play against a rebel trooper. But that's a really interesting list, all focused around the one character, and then these 2 supporting characters there just to basically throw themselves in front of laser shots and lightsaber strikes that are coming at Padme. Another one that you could also have a look at, I'm not convinced it's a strong one, but Leia has, we know she's got 3 damage sides, and that's good. If you combine her with 2 rebel troopers, yes, we're mono red here in this one again, but we've actually got a lot of damage there, a lot of damage sides, just on the character dice. So I would suggest that could be really quite an interesting build. I don't think it's going to be top tier. I don't think it's probably going to be tier 2, but it could be quite a fun, good casual deck with quite a lot of potential damage output, because you're running 3 characters who each have 3 damage sides on them, with a little bit of support from some resources, and you could actually be chucking out a fair old bit of damage in one go there. So there's Rebel Trooper, a brilliant non-unique character, I think, another brilliant non-unique character, and I think you'll have a lot of fun using him. As always, if you think I've missed anything out, please stick it in the comments section. This is all about players learning the game and picking up those tips and hints and tricks and how to use some of these characters or to play against them. So until next time, keep playing Destiny.